All right, in this example, we're going to look at finding different arc measures and angle measures in this circle. So we have kind of a lot to look at here. Let's start with the given information and we'll label our picture. It says in circle P, the measure of angle WPX is 28. So WPX, that measure is 28 degrees. And then it says, so that's one of our central angles. Then it says the measure of angle ZPY, so ZP to Y is 38 degrees. All right, then they also told us that ZW, so here's ZW, and VX are diameters. So find each measure. All right, so let's talk about a couple things here. First, we have to find the measure of arc YZ. You see there's that arc above the letters again. So we find YZ, it's along the edge of the circle. So here's YZ. Now, here's one thing to know, that if, and this only applies if it's a central angle. See how this central angle, the sides of the angle come out and hit the circle and it's forming this arc? That means that that arc measure will be the same measure as the central angle. So that's going to be 38. And we do measure this in degrees. We are finding the degree measure of these arcs. So it is going to be 38 degrees. All right, so moving on, finding the measure of VZ. So here is VZ right here, measure of that arc is what we have to find. Well, if we knew the central angle, then we could figure out what the measure of the arc was, because we know it will be the same. So do you guys remember from Geometry A, we've got, here's our diameters, they're intersecting, and anytime two lines intersect, they form vertical angles. So this is also going to be 28 degrees, which means our measure of our arc is going to be 28 degrees. All right, now we need the measure of arc WX. So here's WX, we can see the central angle is 28, so the degree measure of the arc will be 28 degrees. All right, find the measure of angle VPZ. So VPZ, well, we already talked about that a second ago. We said that that was 28 degrees because it was vertical to that other angle we were given. So that one's done, that's 28 degrees. And now we have to find the measure of angle XPY. So from X to P to Y. All right, so to get this angle right here, you know how this is one of our diameters? That means that these three angles are going to add up to 180 degrees. So we can take 180, subtract the 38, and subtract the 28, and that's going to give us our angle measure. And if you do that math, you get 114 degrees. We did need to know that that was a diameter to know that that was crossing exactly through the center with this nice straight line. All right, what's next? We're on a roll. It says find the measure of arc WYZ. So if we look at the picture, from W to Y to Z, so we're talking this whole thing. Well, it's going WZ form the diameter, so it's basically half of our circle. That's a semicircle, so that will be 180 degrees. Now we need the measure of arc XY. So here's XY, and because we know the central angle is 114, we know that that will also be 114. So it just kind of feels like we're filling in a puzzle a little bit here. Now we need the measure of arc VXZ. So from V, Now see how here is z right here? I can't go this way because it says I have to go through x first. So v to x to z. We want to know this whole arc. So what you might notice with that is you want this whole arc, and we know that kind of the part we don't want is that 28 degrees. The whole entire way around is going to be 360 degrees, so basically you want everything except for that 28 degrees. So you can take 360 and subtract out the 28 degrees. That's going to give you 332. So sometimes, you know, instead of figuring out, oh, how do I add up all these arcs, if you want everything except for this smaller portion, that might be a quicker way to get there. All right, number 9, we need the measure of z, x, y. So from z, now I can't go this way because I'm hitting the y, so z to x to y. So there's another one where from z to x to y is everything except for this 38 degrees. So we'll do the same math. We'll take 360 and we'll subtract out 38 degrees, and we're going to get 322 degrees for the measure of that arc. All right, number 10, find the measure of angle VPW. So V to P to W. So we want this central angle right here. What we might notice here is that that is formed by our two diameters, and remember those two diameters form vertical angles, so on the other side here's that vertical angle to it. Well, we know this is 38 and 14, so that means that the other side, if we just add those together, 38 plus 114, that is going to give us that angle measure. So 38 plus 114 is 152 degrees, and we found it. Oh, that was a long video. Sorry, guys.